Hi, my name is Sean Crane, and I'm from Augsburg College. Above was merely an attempt to show you my poetic and artistic side. I love doing spoken word. I love doing my ministry through spoken word, and I can portray a message easier that way. I feel sometimes I I feel like I can find the best words that don't actually mean what I'm trying to get them to mean, and by that I mean and by that I mean that I use poetic language in order to depict a scene or a picture of my faith story. Now, my faith story, in a summary, kind of face to face, is me growing up not knowing my real father. I was born in Las Vegas, Nevada, in a women's hospital with my mother, Christina. And she raised me by herself for hardly a month and found a new husband named Chris Crane, who I have the last name of because he adopted me and I took his last name. And as I've grown up, my mother has tried to teach me religion and try to teach me faith. And she used to play these Dan and Louie tapes for me as I was growing up. And it was this ventriloquist and his puppet. And they would tell stories of a biblical nature, Daniel in the lion's den, David and Goliath, Samson and Delilah, Noah and the ark. And it was just certain things like that, and it got me thinking. It just got me to know the stories. It had me thinking about the Bible, and it was a good way to start off my faith-based, I guess you could say, lifestyle. Yet my mom was not living that lifestyle. My mom then got divorced from Chris, married him again, got divorced from him again. They moved to southern Minnesota from Nevada, and she ended up meeting my stepdad, Travis, who she then divorced right before my senior year. And with each father, by the way, with each husband, she had a kid. Now, I started off in a Lutheran church as a kid, then went to an Assemblies of God, then to a Covenant church, then went to a Lutheran college, then went to a Covenant church while going to Lutheran college, then went to an Assembly of God praise night on Wednesday nights at North Central College. Then I went to a non-denominational church called Mercy's Vineyard. So, you can imagine, and I went and worked at a Methodist church, Park Avenue Methodist Church. So I've had a taste of a little bit of this and a little bit of that, a little bit of every type of denomination. Not everyone, but close, because I've also had, my dad's Catholic, so I've had to be involved in a Catholic-based church or lifestyle from him. So growing up, I was involved in a lot of things. I was also involved in smoking, drinking at a young age, and getting involved with the wrong crowd. Really, my faith story comes from a good group of friends and family members of those friends who were really, they surrounded me in my time of need. And when I needed them the most, they were there. And sometimes, God bless my mom, but she wasn't there all the time. And it sucked. And she wanted to be there. I know she did. But she couldn't be there. And I know it still hurts her to this day, but a lot of my faith and everything was formed from a little bit from my mom, but a lot from one of my best friends named Caleb Anderson and his parents. They really formed my faith a lot. And, I learned a lot from my dad, Chris, just to always be there and to always be yourself and to always strive forward to do and work hard. And my mom taught me that too, to work hard. But when it came to my faith, I knew that Jesus died on the cross for our sins. That's just something I knew. But coming from a town of 700 people in Welcome, Minnesota, where it was conservative, there was no liberal approach from anybody. Then when I decided to go to Augsburg College, there was diversity. Because in the small town, no one talked about African American people. No one talked about, except if we were talking about slavery, no one talked about gays or lesbians being able to get married or coexisting with heterosexual people. And no one talked about abortion. It just wasn't things that people liked to talk about. We'd bring it up sometimes in school, but outside of school, you would never hear anything about it. And so I developed some of these conservative thoughts and viewpoints. After moving to Augsburg and being part of Augsburg College, I suddenly developed a different sense of viewpoints, a different sense of vantage points, a different sense of diversity, equality, by learning different theologies like liberation theology, queer theology, black theology, systematic theology. I have learned that you can't always see something and be like, that is what it is. Generalizations have to stop, because judgment, discrimination, and generalizations are the things that get Christians in trouble. Jesus, however, still has stayed the center of my faith. But now he's more of a prominent role due to the fact that he reached out to the marginalized people, the people who needed it the most. And by needing it the most, he helped them become part of a whole group. Because they did not feel a part before, because who else went out to go see them? Who else went out to go see the lepers? Who else went out to go preach to tax collectors and to prostitutes and to cure the blind and make them see again? You didn't hear it from anybody else in the Bible besides Jesus doing it, or walking on water and all these miracles. But the ones I focus on are the ones where we should reach out to the poor, and the ones that we should help out the lepers, and we should help out the blind so that they can see. And it's not really so that they can see, it's more so that we can see. And it seems selfish, but it's on this rebellious type of journey, this rebel type of mentality, where we need to stop worrying really about ourselves. And it's sad because, we have to stop worrying about ourselves, yet we have to realize that we don't know everything and we're not perfect. What I'm trying to say is that Jesus is the center of my faith. And he reached out to the marginalized people, and that has always been a strong point for me. Jesus, that is. However, reaching out to the marginalized and helping out the people who are on the outskirts of society, like the gay and lesbian community, is just one way that I can help out. Even the poor and homeless, if I can just go out and give them food or help them out in any way, I would feel good. And not good as in, I did something good and I'm going to go out and just scream it to everybody, but good is because I know I did something without wanting anything in return. And that's good enough for me. So my faith has gone from conservative to liberal, I guess you could say. And I'm proud of that. I'm proud of the culture that I've been given. I'm proud of the equality I have understood and taken the time to just develop here at Augsburg, and I wouldn't change it for anything in the world. Thank you for listening to my faith story in kind of a summarized version, and thank you for listening to my rap / spoken word. I hope you liked it, and God bless.